Hey everyone, it's Ollie here, coming at you with another generic introduction to a YouTube video, and in today's YouTube video, we're going to be counting down the 5 hardest trophies in the 2016 PS4 remake of Ratchet and Clank. Before we start, I have just a few points to make. Firstly, I'm going to be excluding story-based trophies, since, you kind of get them just by playing the game, and if playing the game is hard for you, then I don't really think you'll be that bothered about getting the platinum for it. Secondly, this list isn't just my opinion. I actually created a straw poll survey and put it onto the Ratchet and Clank Professionals Facebook group, so shout out to them for helping me with this video. And lastly, if any of you are having trouble with these trophies or any other harder ones, make sure to check out my next video on this channel, where I'm going to be creating a sort of guide to help you all with the harder trophies in the game. So if there are any that I don't name on the list, because obviously there are only 5 here, then comment below with some that you might need help with. So let's get right into the list. The easiest, can I call it the easiest on a list of hard trophies? Okay, the easiest, hardest trophy on this list of hard trophies is Faster Than a Speeding Amoeboid, which is a silver trophy that requires you to complete the gold tier hoverboard race on Rilgar in under a minute and 35 seconds. There are actually a few things that make this a hard trophy. Firstly, you actually have to win the race, so even if you, hypothetically speaking, finished the race in 10 seconds, but you came second, you actually wouldn't get the trophy. Secondly, you basically have to have a almost perfect run, taking all opportunities you can to get the boost, never falling off the track, never failing your tricks, never running into the explosive blocks of doom. And lastly, it isn't exactly the sort of gameplay that a lot of people might have got the game for. They might only really play the 3D platformer sort of game, so they might not be as experienced in faster paced, higher intensity racing games, and then just winning alone to advance the story might be a challenge for them, and then having to do it in such a short amount of time could be even more challenging. And those are the reasons that Faster Than a Speeding Amoeboid is the 5th hardest trophy in the game. The next trophy on this list, in the number 4 spot, goes to These Go to 11, which is another silver trophy that requires you to unlock every single weapon modification with Raritanium, except the ones for the bouncer, because the bouncer didn't actually come with the game, so that doesn't count. Yeah. The biggest problem with this is just the time that it actually takes to collect all of the necessary Raritanium. Simply playing through the story once on normal mode and then once on challenge mode, which is pretty much all you actually have to do to get the platinum for the game, won't actually cut it. So you may even need to go for a 3rd or 4th playthrough to unlock it without just grinding out the same enemies over and over again. To make it even more infuriating, you'll often max out the screen of modifications and think, oh yeah, I've finally done it, and then not actually realise that when you level up the weapon, you unlock more, so you haven't even finished yet. It could be worse though, as I said earlier. It could have required the bouncer, and that would mean you need 100 or so, well, that's pretty bit of an over-exaggeration, a few dozen more Raritanium. In 3rd place, which is fittingly a bronze trophy, we have Copernicus. I'm assuming I pronounced that correctly. It's, in theory, a very easy trophy to obtain, as all you have to do is equip the Hollow Guys, walk to a certain place on the deplanetizer, and press circle, or square. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, so ignore that I said that. But then, in practice, it's actually quite a challenging trophy, just because the game gives you pretty much no information about how to actually do it. All you really know is that you're looking for Quark's Lounge and the deplanetizer, so you know you have to be on the deplanetizer, and you know it's something to do with Quark, so you kind of think, maybe I have to use the Hollow Guys. But due to the nature of said lounge, as in it doesn't exist, it actually doesn't show up on the map, even after obtaining the mathematic. So you can't look on it and think, oh right, the lounge is there. You just have to wander around aimlessly and hope that you find it. In addition to it being nearly impossible to find without a guide or just sheer luck, it's far from obvious how you're actually supposed to access the imaginary lounge. Let's say you found it, maybe you found it, didn't do the right thing and walked past it. That would be quite annoying. And if you're like me, then you would have felt almost betrayed when you see the trophy pop up and realise that there actually isn't a super secret lounge that you now have access to. In the number 2 slot, the second hardest trophy in the entire game, I forgot to mention earlier actually, I thought I'd add this now. I'm obviously not counting the Platinum trophy, because that is sort of like the hardest one, because it requires all the other ones, so it has to be hardest, but that's a given, so it's not on here. Honourable mention to the Platinum trophy. So yeah, as I was saying, in second place, we have I Hate Lamp. Another trophy that is, in theory, quite an easy trophy. All you actually have to do is destroy every lamp in Alero City, which is on the second planet in the game. The reason it's kind of annoying though, is because there's no indication of where the lamps are on the map, which means that you might go through from start to finish, scan the area, and destroy the ones you see, but not actually get the trophy pop up. So you don't even know how many you've missed. You might have missed 1, 2, maybe you've missed 7. And then, despite not knowing where they are, even if you did know how many there were, you don't know where they are, so you have to go back all the way to the start and scan over again. But to add to the frustration, as I mentioned before, it's only a bronze trophy. It's not like a fancy gold trophy that you get to show off to all of your friends, or a silver trophy that actually kind of means something. It's just a lowly bronze trophy to remind you of how easy it should have been. And now, the hardest trophy in the entire game, apart from the Platinum trophy, but we've already discussed this, so I'm not going to go over that again. We have another bronze trophy. And I'm sure that most of you probably saw this coming. Death by Disco has been the cause of so much frustration for me and most, if not all, of the people who have tried to get this trophy. It requires you to use the Groovatron weapon on every single type of enemy in the game, including bosses. Despite some people claiming this can be done across multiple runs, I, and many others, find that this has to be done in one single run. It's possible that the people who did it across multiple runs did it across one normal and one challenge mode run, but no one really knows at the moment what actually happens, and given the game's a year old now, probably no one will, so there you go, you got to do it in one run, unless you get incredibly lucky. But because you have to do it in one run, if you miss a boss, or if you miss a one-off sort of enemy, like the Blag helicopter pilot on Go-On, you actually have to completely restart your run, which can be really disheartening. I, for one, twice actually, got to the end of my run, got to the fight against Nefarious, threw my Groovatron at him, he started dancing but the trophy didn't come up, and it's at that point you realise, oh my god, I have to play it again. So it actually took me 4 attempts. Although, as I mentioned before, playing 4 times will get you close to, if not all the way, to getting the These Go to 11 trophy, because you do get a lot of raritanium from doing that, if you're thorough, that is. Do any of you have this trophy? Was it your last trophy like mine? How many attempts did it take you? Did it take you more than 4 or less than 4? Or were you just like me, it took you 4 attempts? For me, it was my last trophy, as I've already said. I don't know why I felt the need to repeat that. But there you have it. Those are the 5 hardest trophies in the PS4 remake of Ratchet and Clank. So do any of you agree? I would hope so, given that quite a few people voted on the survey, so it should have a pretty accurate representation of what people think. Otherwise, I don't really know what to think. Leave a comment down below if you disagree, if you agree, if you want to tell me that your pet turkey passed away today, and I'll try my best to not reply to you with a generic YouTube message like, hey, thanks for watching my video, I'm glad you hate everything I said in this video, please consider subscribing. But if you did enjoy the video and you would like to consider subscribing, that would be much appreciated. And I appreciate every single view that you guys give me, and every single like, and all of the subs. And the higher all the numbers on my channel are, the more I appreciate, the more it makes all this work I'm doing seem worth it. Except for the dislike numbers, I'd rather that be lower. That's like golf. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm starting to ramble now, and I don't really know where I'm going with this. But I'll see you all in the next video. And remember, if you do need help with any of the harder trophies, comment down below and check out the next video on this channel, and then I'll help you through those, possibly, potentially. Yeah, sure, there you go. See ya.